In a case that shook a city to its core. A wealthy man accused of a brutal murder. A courtroom divided between truth and illusion. But when justice is twisted by power, money, and lies, one question haunts the nation: was it justice, or a cover-up? The town of Stonebridge Falls had never seen a scandal like this. On the night of May 14, police received a call from Melanie Trenton, a housekeeper at the sprawling lakeside estate of tech mogul Evelyn Halcroft. Her voice shook as she told dispatch, "There's blood everywhere, and Mrs. Halcroft, she's not moving." When authorities arrived, they found Evelyn Halcroft, Damien's 34-year-old wife, lying face down in the marble hallway, her head split open by what was later identified as a decorative stone sculpture. Her wrist was broken. Her lip swollen. Dead at the scene. No forced entry. No signs of a robbery. Just blood, shattered glass, and a missing surveillance drive. And Damien, calm as a statue, sipping whiskey on the terrace when officers arrived. From the outside, Damien and Evelyn were Stonebridge's golden couple. She was a former corporate lawyer turned philanthropist. They hosted galas, cut ribbons, and adorned magazine covers. He was a 43-year-old tech entrepreneur who built a billion-dollar cybersecurity firm. But close friends told a different story. She wanted to leave but feared the consequences. Evelyn had confided in her sister, Clara, that Damien had a temper. That his cold charm turned into rage behind closed doors. "You won't like the ending." There were emails. Text messages. Even a secret recording of him threatening, "If you ever embarrass me, Evelyn." She never got to leave. During the investigation, a clearer picture emerged. Evelyn had recently met with divorce attorneys. She had been gathering documents, bank records, shell company transfers, and emails linking Damien to offshore accounts. Just hours after Evelyn's death, he'd messaged Tara, if she divorced him, she'd gain access to half of his empire and expose his hidden fortune. And Damien? He'd already moved on. She had Evelyn's recordings, photos of bruises, and the suspicious deletion of the lake house surveillance footage. Investigators found intimate messages on his burner phone exchanged with Tara Miles, his 26-year-old personal assistant. It's done. No more secrets. The trial began 6 months later. It was the event of the decade in Stonebridge. Journalists camped outside the courthouse. True crime podcasts ran weekly updates. Prosecutor Aisha Monroe painted a clear narrative: premeditated murder, driven by greed and betrayal. The missing drive had never been recovered. But Damien's defense team, led by the high-powered attorney Lawrence Pierce, argued otherwise. There was no murder, Pierce claimed. There was a tragic accident, caused by Evelyn's drinking and instability. They leaned into her medical records, past anxiety meds, a fainting episode, and painted her as emotionally fragile, unstable, even suicidal. Then came their bombshell. A blurry security camera image from a nearby cabin that allegedly showed Evelyn walking barefoot outside the estate earlier that night, appearing disoriented. The defense implied she could have fallen or even harmed herself. The problem? The timestamp didn't match the time of death. But the judge allowed it. Whispers of corruption grew louder. Reporters noticed that Judge Raymond Solis, who was overseeing the case, had previously ruled favorably on several lawsuits involving Damien's company. Digging deeper, a journalist uncovered that Judge Solis' son worked for Titan SEC, a cybersecurity firm recently acquired by Damien's company. Even more chilling, a former court clerk anonymously leaked that Pierce, the defense attorney, had dined privately with Solis just 2 nights before the trial began. A potential conflict of interest? The clerk who leaked it? Damien grabbed her arm, threw her down, and stormed off. Fired without explanation. 1 week before the trial ended, a twist hit the courtroom like a grenade. An anonymous package arrived at the prosecutor's office. Inside, a USB drive. Labeled Cam 3 backup. It was the missing surveillance footage. The video, though grainy, clearly showed Damien and Evelyn arguing violently. Evelyn attempted to walk away. Minutes later, he returned with the statue in hand. Then, the footage cut. The judge initially declared the video inadmissible due to questionable chain of custody. But the public had seen enough. Clips leaked online. #Justice for Evelyn trended globally. The final day of the trial was chaos. Claiming the footage could have been tampered with and pointing to the defense's argument about Evelyn's mental state. Reporters filled every seat. Protesters stood outside, chanting. Police lined the courthouse. After 6 hours of deliberation, the jury returned. Guilty? No. Evelyn Halcroft was acquitted. Jury foreman cited reasonable doubt. Gasps filled the courtroom. Evelyn's sister, Clara, broke down in tears. Damien walked out, adjusting his cuffs like nothing had happened. Payments. Private communications between Judge Solis and Damien's legal team. And the city of Stonebridge? Shattered. Months passed. Damien sold his company, disappeared from the spotlight, and moved to Monaco with Tara. But whispers didn't die. A year later, a federal investigation, sparked by online activists, was launched into the trial's integrity. They found connections. This time, there was no courtroom spin. Judge Solis was indicted. Lawrence Pierce was disbarred. And Damien? He was extradited. New evidence, deleted footage recovered from Titan SEC's servers, showed Damien cleaning blood from the statue minutes after Evelyn collapsed. A retrial was ordered. But by then, Evelyn Halcroft had vanished. A woman murdered. A courtroom divided. A verdict questioned by millions. Was it justice? Or the perfect cover-up? You decide. This was Secrets of the Case.